So it's time to fire away, and let's fire away right now. We start Thursday, November 9th, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Carolina Panthers 1-7, 0-4 on the road. That's the Chicago Bears 2-7, 1-3 at home. We're at Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois. 45 Fahrenheit clear, 12-mile-per-hour winds. Let's get into the line history here off the hop. And we'll start with the spread. We're sitting here with the Bears at -4. It's more of a 3.5, but it moved to 4. When it first moved to 4, it was today at 2:23 p.m. That 4 -102 for the Bears. It's now at +103. So you could say it's not quite a 4, but it moved from 3. From a total scenario here, we are dealing with a 39. This is juiced to the under. It opened up at 40. So, juiced -117 to the under. Now, it was up to -120 to the under at noon today. From a cash flow standpoint here, we have, move over here, we go. Get all markets, and here we go. From a cash flow standpoint, 87% of tickets, 95% of the cash on the under, market moving in that direction. 51% of tickets and 85% of cash are on the Carolina Panthers, and the market is moving away from the Panthers. The Panthers coming off an ugly 27-13 loss at home to the Colts. They've now matched their worst start in franchise history. Bryce Young did not look good. A 24-39, 173 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. He did run 5 times for 41 yards. 2 of those interceptions were returned by 4 scores by Kenny Moore. The passing game never got going. Panthers were held to 62 total yards in the first half. Bryce Young was sacked 4 more times. This offensive line is not protecting him. He's now been sacked 26 times in 7 starts. He's hit all the time, too, even when he can get the ball off in time. Now 1-6 as an NFL starter. Hayden Hurst led receivers with 2 catches for 54 yards. They're 27th in the league, averaging just 187.1 passing yards per game. And their running game is not strong enough. Chuba Hubbard ran 16 times for 58 yards. The defense tried to keep them in the game, held the Colts to just 190 total yards. They didn't generate that much pressure on Minshew, 1 sack, 4 quarterback hits, but they held the Colts to 4 of 13 on third down. And they also are dealing with injuries. Now, Brian Burns is in concussion protocol. How crucial is he to this defense? So, he's just not going to be cleared. Either is cornerback C.J. Henderson. They have to be cleared by an independent neurologist. They're just not going to be cleared before Thursday. Xavier Woods left the game with a thigh injury. He's been hurt so much this season. Important safety for them. Tight end Steven Sullivan left the game with a shoulder injury. They're just dealing with so many injuries. It all started losing Shaq Thompson to begin the year. Then Jeremy Chin and Yetur Gross-Matos, safety and linebacker, are on the IR until at least week 12. Wide receivers DJ Shark and Laviska Shenault are listed as questionable. They could receive some good news. It's possible that J.C. Horn, cornerback, a very crucial cornerback, returns on Thursday. And then the big story looming over the Thursday nighter for the Bears is, will Justin Fields be under center to start the game? We thought so last week. We were, not certain or anything like that, but we expected him to start. And now Eberflus is throwing a bit of a wrench. He says this is more testing of his thumb is necessary. Fields was throwing on Friday in a limited practice with a glove on, and he said he was still feeling pain. He expressed concerns. He says it needs to be strong enough so he can protect it from further injury. I don't know what's going to happen to Bears backers if it's not him, if it's Bagent again. The Bears coming off a 24-17 loss at New Orleans. Tyson Bagent, 18 of 30, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. He also ran 8 times for 70 yards and lost a fumble. Darnell Mooney led receivers with 5 catches for 82 yards. Komet caught 6 for 55 and 2 touchdowns. He missed practice today. He's dealing with a knee issue. I don't expect him to practice all week. So Komet will be listed as questionable, but we expect him to play. Donta Foreman finished with 83 yards on 20 carries. The Bears outgained the Saints 368 to 301. It was the 5 turnovers that cost them the game. Defensively, Montez Sweat joins this weak pass rush, signed a 4-year, $98 million extension, 0 sacks and 2 quarterback hits for the group. The defense last in the league on third down, allowing conversions 48.2% of the time. Last in red zone defense, allowing touchdowns 75% of the time. And then they have this, Kari Blasingame suffered a concussion, and he's ruled out for Thursday's game. And they do not have another fullback on the roster. So they have an undrafted rookie, Robert Burns, on the practice squad. Starting safety Jaquan Brisker will be back after missing the last 2 games with a concussion. 3 players could return from the injured reserve this week. Khalil Herbert, Quinimus Brown, so a running back, wide receiver Quinimus St. Brown, and defensive back Josh Blackwell. All 3 practiced today. Who didn't practice, linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. He has a knee injury. It kept him out of Sunday's loss, so he very likely could not be in the lineup. With all of this unknown and injury issues, I just don't understand how it's capable to put together a legitimate game script unless part of your bet is saying, "Oh, I'm betting Fields is at quarterback," or I'm betting that Fields won't be at quarterback, or I'm betting that Brian Burns will be unavailable. I find this extremely difficult to put together a game script. Take it away for us here, Troy. Thursday nighter, Panthers Bears at Soldier Field.
Yeah, these two teams have pretty much been the worst teams in the NFL up until this point. I mean, the Cardinals and the Giants are starting to give them a run for their money, but this line at 3.5, 4 points is starting to tell me that Justin Fields is going to be playing. I mean, it looks like he's probably going to be in, which means the variance in this game is insane. Like you said, how do you put together a game script? How do you set an appropriate line when we don't know who's playing? But the bookies, they know who's playing. I don't know exactly what they're doing with this line. I'm trying to figure that out as this week progresses, but we're getting close. So the fact that it's at 4 and it's already Tuesday night, I'm really thinking Fields is going to be playing in this game. If you're looking at for closing line value, I think you take the Panthers now because I still think there's a non-negligible chance that Badgett, Fields is ruled out and Badgett starts. And if that's the case, this line is going to tank below the 2.5. If Fields is ruled in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch that line rise up, let the public ape in on Thursday afternoon, and I'll grab an under. Hopefully it's, a better number than it is right now, but I won't be scared to take an under in this game based on what I've seen. And I want to talk about in this game, I mean, things have kind of changed now, and the market looks a little bit different than when I put my analysis together. But I want to talk about the importance of the 3 because, I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive to what a lot of cappers do, but I think it's important to talk about. At Pinnacle, when the home team is laying 3 points and the total is less than 42, like we have in this case, the road team is 7-3 ATS. So the road team covers as 3-point dogs. But when the home team is laying 3.5 and the total is less than 42, the home team at that point, the 7-3 ATS, it completely flips. To me, that just shows me the strength, the power of the 3, how important that 3 is, especially when the total's so low. So a lot of people would say that. Actually, let me use an example. People would say, I like the Panthers at 3.5, but not at 3. I say I like the Panthers more at 3 than at 3.5 because of just how sharp some of these books are. And why Pinnacle? Because all the books adjust to Pinnacle. Thank God Jimmy showed me that. Watching the show has, taken me to a new height. And the Chargers game yesterday, it actually closed at Pinnacle at 3.5. It fit the database trend, very similar to what I'm talking about right now. And it was a hammer spot. Chargers got the job done. So I haven't moved on this game yet. I will take the under if Fields is ruled in and we get a 41. You know what? It really doesn't matter. If Fields ruled out, I'll take an under with Badgett at quarterback. And, I'll be looking at an SGP. I plan on starting to talk about these a lot earlier than I give them out, on Twitter because I post usually I post the SGPs as we get closer to game time within a few hours. So, but I'll be looking at the Bears to take the Bears side, depending on where it lands, the under, and I'll be looking for a third leg. So I haven't figured that out yet, but definitely the Bears in the under at where it's currently sitting.
Well, you've added a lot to this breakdown because I don't find anything appealing at this point. So I'm glad that you do Bears and under and SGPs. Stay hooked on Troy Torrence 11 on X.
Well, you know what, Jimmy? It's not like I'm super interested in the game, but, with the database having such strong sides, I mean, and it's a Thursday game, I want the action.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want the action.
Absolutely.